ثم تكون عليهم حسرة ثم يغلبون والذين كفروا إلى جهنم يحشرون. 2 years it's been, 2 years of pain, fear, torment, torture, besiegement, displacement. 2 years our brothers and sisters in Gaza have incurred losses in their health, wealth, family, children. 2 years they've tasted death in all its forms. Children being targeted by snipers, being pulled out from underneath the rubble, people being burned alive, tents being hit, and all of it being broadcasted live on our phones, live to the world for them to hear and see. Yet la hayata liman tunadi. 2 years of betrayal. But this is not strange for the believer. This is not strange for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to test those who He loves, to test those who will get victory in the end. وَلِيُمَحِّصَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَيَمْحَقَ الْكَافِرِينَ. And there's a looming victory and a lot of people are not seeing it. The victory of the idea, the victory of the hearts and minds. Something that the occupation's been spending so much money in. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ لِيَصُدُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. They've spread Islamophobia in the land. People have forgotten about Palestine. They've forgotten about Al-Aqsa. Countries were normalizing. And now the occupation is in its most isolated state. ثُمَّ تَكُونُ عَلَيْهِمْ حَسْرَةً ثُمَّ يُغْلَبُونَ وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِلَى جَهَنَّمَ يُحْشَرُونَ. There's a betrayal, no doubt. But our brothers and sisters have been steadfast. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has tied on their hearts. وَرَبَطْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ إِذْ قَامُوا فَقَالُوا رَبُّنَا رَبُّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. There's no other explanation, and this steadfastness has inspired so many people from around the world to the point where they've even become Muslim. Because for the people of Gaza, they know that they have إحدى الحسنيين. They either taste what Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib has tasted, or they taste the victory that the Sahaba have tasted, which is the victory of Mecca in this life before the next. And 2 years of the team on the ground in Gaza working day and night. Even though they themselves are the people of Gaza, they themselves have incurred losses in their health, their wealth, their children, their homes being destroyed. They are the last to eat, yet they are the first to distribute. And they get their hands on whatever they can get. If they're besieged, they're getting from local suppliers and supplying it. Always planning, stacking up warehouses when things are opened up, getting the trucks in. They're setting up camps for the displaced. They get hit, they set up more camps, more tents. They fix infrastructure, they set up solar panels. Right now, Al Ma'madani Hospital, they are paying the volunteers and the doctors. Cash distributions inside of Gaza and outside of Gaza. In Egypt, that's a whole different story. What we're doing with the Gazan refugees, they're coming into the hospitals, we're going in, checking up on them, making sure that the surgeries are happening. They're not happening, we take them out, we give them private health care. We're giving them apartments to live in, we're paying for their rent, we're paying for their monthly expenses. If they need physiotherapy, we're paying for the physiotherapy. If they need medication, we're paying for the medication. The children need education, we're paying for the education. And this is all thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost. وَمَا تَوْفِيقِي إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. And then you guys' donations and your support consistently, week in, week out, month in, month out. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward every single one of you. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as he was coming back from the Ghazwa of Tabuk, he looked at the Sahaba that were with him and he said, we're going to return to Medina. And in Medina there are those that whatever step that you've stepped, whatever valley that you've crossed, they have crossed it with you. إِنَّ بِالْمَدِينَةِ أَقْوَامًا مَا سِرْتُمْ سَيْرًا أَوْ قَطَعْتُمْ وَادٍ إِلَّا وَهُمْ مَعَكُمْ. He said, Ya Rasulullah, وَهُمْ بِالْمَدِينَةِ. How is that even possible? How, O Prophet of Allah, we went out striving in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with our health and wealth, with ourselves, and they're in Medina. How are they getting the same reward? He says, حَبَسَهُمُ الْعُذْرِ. That they really had an excuse. They had the intention. And don't forget, in Medina there are the hypocrites, but they are a small bunch that when they seen the caravan depart and they seen the Prophet ﷺ leaving Medina, they cried, تَوَلَّوْا وَأَعْيُنُهُمْ تَفِيضُ مِنَ الدَّمْعِ حَزْنًا. They wanted to join, they wanted to be a part of it. They did not want to miss on this great opportunity and great reward, but they had an excuse. Some financial, some through sickness. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our excuses on the Day of Judgment. Wallahi, we will all be asked. Qasaman billah. Wallahi, every single one of us is going to be asked about every single scene that we've seen. Sometimes even by you not interacting, saving, liking, sharing, reposting. Wallahi, you will be asked about that because it's possible. And you can do the minimum, which is speak up for your brothers and sisters. And this is a fight that is real. This is why the occupation, I'm not saying their name because I don't want the video to be censored. This is why the occupation, they're buying TikTok. And Netanyahu himself, he came out and he said, this is probably the most important battle that we are fighting today, is the battle of the hearts and minds. So your voice is so important. And the Prophet ﷺ, he says, جاهدوا المشركين بأموالكم وأنفسكم وألسنتكم. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deal with all of those who betray their brothers and sisters. عاجلا غير آجل, in this dunya before the hereafter, Ya Rabb al-Alameen. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pour patience and steadfastness on our brothers and sisters and forgive us for our shortcomings.